Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. It is the first Tuesday of the month and that means that we're doing another Shop My Stash. So I'm first going to go through everything that I was using this month, including lipsticks that I chose to use for my collection, as well as the eyeshadow palettes that I decided to use. And then towards the end of the video, I'll take you through my drawers, which have now been decluttered, so they look a lot more cleaned up. I'm going to take you through what I will be selecting for next month. So let's just whiz through this straight away. I think that for foundation, I just had one thing in here, and that was the Hourglass Vanish Stick foundation, because that's the one that I really wanted to try. Yeah, so that was in here. I really liked it. I did a get ready with me with a lot of these products too, so make sure to link that in the eye above in case you would like to see a lot of these products actually going on. So yeah, this was lovely, but I am now going to retire it because I want to use something else. And then for concealer, I actually used up my Bobbi Brown Corrector, and so I put in this Pera ink corrector. This was in my Full Face of Asian Makeup, and I really enjoyed the product. And because I was wearing the Glossier Stretch concealer a lot this month, which is a little bit more lightweight and doesn't give a lot of coverage, I thought that this was a really great combo. Again, this is in the Get Ready With Me. For powder, this is still going to stay in here. The gold is starting to rub off. That's how much I've used it. It's the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. I am trying to use this up before I use another powder. So that's going to stay in here. And then everything else I've used. And I've used plenty of times, apart from this bronzer. Because the Fenty Beauty bronzer, I just wasn't using at all this month, even though I do really like it. But I just wanted to get more use out of my Makeup Forever bronzer, which is this one. This is a lovely bronzer, and I actually think I'm going to keep it in here for another month and just focus on this, because I don't know what it is about this bronzer, but I'm currently really, really loving it, and I don't want to use anything else. So I'm just going to keep it in there. For blush, I had 3 options. And I've used all 3 of these. This Benefit Gold Rush Mini was absolutely lovely. Great, like, pale peachy shade for the winter time. The same goes for this Balm Beach Blush by the Balm. Lovely color, lovely shade. And I actually kept this in my makeup collection over another blush that, for me, does something very similarly. But that was even paler than this. I like that this has a bit more cover, like a little more color. And then we have the Hourglass Mood Exposure. This is an OG staple, you know that about me, so I was very happy to use it again, but I'm ready for new blushes. The highlighters I was using are also going to be selected and changed out for new ones, but I used both of these, this one more towards the beginning of the month, this one towards the end of the month. This was a new product to me. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlighter in Privilege, and oh my, it's so, so stunning. It's a peachy shade, but it isn't too dark for fair skin, and Dandelion Twinkle is one of my favorite highlighters if I want to go for something subtle. Right, then almost everything that was already in here is going to stay, because none of this is used up, and I like using a lot of these products on this side up before I move them out and use something else. I did move out my primer because I used it up. Last month I had the Becca primer in here, the First Light Priming Filter. I've changed this out for this. This is the Hydrating and Perfecting Primer by Essence. Nice, lovely, easy, everyday primer. Works really well. This is, I'm not sure if you can see that, but this is about a third left, so hopefully maybe this month I can use that up, I don't know. Brow pencil is going to stay, but the brow gel is not, because this is the Benefit Gimme Brow. This has started to dry out. It also smells really funky by now, so I need to select another brow gel to use, because this is going to go in my use up bin. So let's move on to this section here in the middle, which is all of the lipsticks I selected this month. I don't know what eyeshadow and lipstick I want to wear for like an entire month, like in advance. I just can't decide. So I just want to show you right now what I actually reached for. I reached for 2 nude Bite Beauty lipsticks. This is the one I made myself in the Bite Beauty Lab. I wore this for a few days straight. Love it. And this is Sake. I was wearing Pepper last month, and this is just a really nice neutrally shade. It's a bit light, but sometimes if I want to go for a paler nude, this is the option I go for. Another nude I used was MAC's Brave, and this was a rediscovery. I love this shade so much. It's more pink than I normally would go for, but since we're getting into spring, I'm digging pink lipstick again. So this new Catrice Full Satin lipstick, you saw this in my full face of Catrice First Impressions. This is in 030 Full of Passion, and I've been wearing this quite a bit actually. These feel very comfortable on the lips. So far I'm happy with those. I reached for two of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. This is Very Victoria, which is another nude. I was wearing a lot of nudes because, as you will see, I was wearing also quite some colorful looks. And this is Red Carpet Red, so when I reach for a red, I reach for this one. This is one of my all-time favorite reds. And then I also was feeling something really bright and funky. This is Menace by Urban Decay, which is a really, really nice, really bright fuchsia pink. Love that. And then I also reached for these three newer lipsticks. These I started trying out. The Generation G lipstick by Glossier and Crush. I have now figured out how to use it, which is just to use it over a lip balm. And then I get a lot more color payoff. And it stays put all day. And it looks nice. So, happy with that. And these two Asian lipsticks. This is by Pera. It's the Airy Stick in Warmy Red. And the 3CE lipstick in Mellow Flower. These are stunning. This is more like a reddish nude, like a darker nude shade. And this is a really nice warm red, but without it being too red. Like, this is not too in your face. Both of these colors are pretty natural looking, but they do have color to them. And I have nothing else like it in my collection. So I was really, really enjoying those. For eyes, I'm just going to speed through this as well. I wanted to review the Nabla Secret palette, so in the week leading up to my review, I did another couple of looks with this just to remind myself of what I liked and didn't like about this palette. So I now have a review up for this one. Truth be told, it's really that middle row that just gets you when you start using this palette. These four shades are stunning, but I have found that these like berries and also some of these golds are actually really nice to give it a little bit more versatility and wearability. So if you're someone who does a lot of office-y, like everyday makeup looks, this may seem very out there, but because you get those neutrals, you can easily take this from like day to night, and it's a good all-rounder from that perspective. I was also reminding myself of this one. This is the Ace Beauté Slice of Paradise, and when I first used it, I wasn't a huge fan because I feel that the shimmers in here are quite weak, and some of these, especially this red, looked quite harsh on me, I found. Some of these shades I love, so I'm going to keep it around for the shades I do like. I like Persimmon, I like Rose Finch. I really do like Fruit Dove actually, even though it's not as shiny as I wanted it to be, but it has some really nice shades in here. It's just that on the lower lash line, these smudge and just bleed on me. I don't know if you've ever heard of lipstick bleeding. Well, this is eyeshadow that bleeds on me. Doesn't look pretty. But the colors in here are beautiful, and I do want to keep it around. Another palette I wanted to remind myself of is the Zoeva Opulence palette. This is not one of my favorite Zoeva palettes, and I now am certain that this is never going to be my favorite. This color story is just not really up my street. The blue in here is quite weak. People were right, when you wet this, it becomes better. But other than a pop of color on the lower lash line, I don't really feel comfortable doing with that. And other than that, this is quite warm toned. You get a lot of colors that are very similar once they go on the eye. This is just not the best one. So if you're looking into Zoeva, and you don't own any yet, even though this packaging is gorgeous, I would not recommend the Opulence. It is a nice palette if you're looking for a lot of golds. If you're not, then stay away from this one. I also wanted to use this again. This is the Anastasia Soft Glam for a neutral palette. I think this is actually the only neutral palette in this entire Shop My Stash. This is the only thing I reached for that could venture into neutrals. This is a bit dark on me, so I don't like it for every single day. but this is a stunning palette. When this came out, I didn't buy it straight away because I just thought, I looked at these shades online and I was like, no. But this is if you like rosy tones, but for instance, the Naked 3 is too cool toned and not really up your street. It's too ashy on you. Try this one because this has a lot of stunning pinky berry tones. A palette that I definitely wanted to use this month, that I showed you my Shop My Stash last time to tell you that I was going to try this out, is the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean. And I loved every single look I did with you guys, with this one, you guys. And a lot of you were liking these looks as well because I got lots of compliments on the eyeshadow looks I was wearing with this too. So that was lovely. Great quality, good shade selection. You get the blues and the greens, two of my favorite shades to wear. This is one of the best under 20 euro palettes currently on the market, I feel. And that's a bold statement. And because I was liking those greens so much, I had to reach for one of my favorite green palettes, the Tribe palette by Juvia's. I wanted to reach for this again. And of course, I made a look with some of these shades here. These are just scrumptious. I love this palette. This is one of my favorite ones. This is one of my favorite ones by Juvia's. But if you then say green, I also want to go to the opposite end of the spectrum. So I reached for my Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions, and this is the purpley one. This is not as purple as I feel it could have been. I feel you only get one real purple in here. It would have been nice if one of these two shades would have been this sort of tone, but in a matte. That's the only thing I feel this is missing. But other than that, it's a nicely curated purple palette. And I was quite busy this month, so sometimes I get a bit lazy and then I like to do a one shadow look. And this Burberry single in Rosewood is one of my favorite shades to do that with. So I wore this one day, I think, no more than that. And then you saw me, in my Get Ready, you saw me use this. This is the Lethal Cosmetics palette I built myself. I will put the shades in the description box below because and I will make sure to list them in like this order so that you can figure it out yourself. And remember, this is called Spirit, and this is Enigma. I think this is Equilibrium. I'm not sure. One of these is like Recluse and Release, and this is Vortex, I believe. I'm not entirely sure on the shade names, but it's like mostly some like greens, blues, teals, and then we've got some purpley pinks. In March, they will be restocking the palette and also the shadows. So I'm waiting out for that one because I would like to get myself another one of these with 12 shades because it's stunning. Stunning quality. And then we have the palette I was trying out towards the end of the month. This is the Makeup Revolution Chilled palette, which is a sort of like a Gemini / Smoke Sessions kind of dupe, you could say. And I did 2 looks with it so far. I've used the majority of the shades in here. There's just this one, this one, this one, and this one for me to still use. And so far, I'm liking some shades in here a lot. This Mist shade is stunning. Dope is really stunning too. I think Huff will be pretty too. I loved Sativa, but it has 3 glitters. And this is something that I didn't really notice at first, but as I've been using it, 2 of the darkest shades are glitters. Like, what's up with that? Like, I would like, because these 2 shades are just super similar, so I would have liked one of these to be like a really dark, almost like black and green. Then I think I would have gotten a lot more versatility out of this palette. So again, it's not perfect, and these glitters, still, like in the new neutral, impossible to take off. Like, I wore this one yesterday, all over my lid, just dabbed over a glitter glue, and it just won't come off. My face is still covered in glitter, and I took a shower and washed my face twice. And I went in with a makeup remover, and I still had glitter left on my eyes this morning. No bueno. I don't like how those remove, but it is very stunning, and I think actually, if you've seen my eyeshadow palette declutter, you know I got rid of a lot of Makeup Revolution palettes. This is a color story that I do really enjoy. So I do think I'll hang on to this for the time being. Not sure I'll reach for it a whole lot. But this palette is one of the better ones that Makeup Revolution does, I think. So let's just shop my stash now to find out what I want to use this month, what we're going to fill the drawer with. Welcome to my reorganized makeup collection. Yay! It's looking a lot neater than it did the last time you saw this. I did also film my reorganizing everything after I decluttered, so those videos are all coming your way in the next couple of weeks. So we need to start off by trying to find a new foundation, and I want to try this one more. This is the new Catrice Poreless Mousse Foundation, and I haven't decided yet how I feel about this. I showed this in my Catrice video. I definitely want to review it sometime this month, so that one I want to try more. But just in case that isn't really my cup of tea, another newer foundation, but that is nice and lightweight, is this Physicians Formula foundation that I just haven't given enough of a try yet. And I think that now we're moving into the springtime, something lightweight and hydrating will be something I will like. So that is something I'm going to try out. For concealer, I know I want to try and use this new Catrice concealer more. This is the Instant Awake concealer. I think I may actually be able to use this up because it doesn't have a whole lot of product in it. So just in case I use it up, I will also be reaching for this again. This is the Perfect Match Concealer by L'Oreal, and this already has a peachy undertone, even though it is very lightweight. So I want to use this more because I think a lot of this is actually already gone. So again, something that maybe this year I might want to use up. And then I'll reach for something else again. We still have that primer that I think is still good to go. In case it runs out before the end of the month, I'm going to be reaching for a very similar primer, this time by Catrice. This is their Glow and Care primer. And that is one that I will be using once the Essence one, I think, is gone. And then for blush, we need to select 3 new blushes. And it's springtime, right? What do I feel like? What do I feel like? You know what? I'm going to go for the OG Milani Luminoso on this peachy shade. I've been really liking peachy shades now that I've tried the Benefit Gold Rush. So I think I'll go for that. And it's glowy, and I'm really currently into like more glowy blushes, you could say. What else? What else do I want to reach for? Oh, this is another blush that I haven't tried a lot yet. Maybe I can use this too. This is the Ciate blush in Matchmaker. And this is a different tone from the other one. This is more of like a plummy reddish shade. So that could be pretty too. And that I haven't reviewed yet, so that could also give me something for a review. And then I think yeah, am I going to be super boring? Oh, I know. I'll go in with the Essence Matte Touch Blush in Blossom Me Up. This is one of my favorite like neutrally shades, so I'll go in with that. And then I also have something nicely affordable in that selection, you could say. And then for bronzer, I am going to add one just to see if I reach for this. This is the Soap & Glory Solar Powder Bronzer. Love this one. It's a great one for the springtime. I know that. I usually reach for it around the March, April time of the year. So I'm going to be reaching for that. I need to select 2 new highlighters as well. And I actually have some newer highlighters that I haven't reviewed yet. So maybe I want to go for one of those. Shall I go with the Zoeva Soft Sun highlighter? This is in Cinnamon Sky. That is pretty, huh? It's more like a champagne shade. So I can use that. And shall I just go for a favorite too? Ooh, I know. I'll use Urban Decay's Aura highlighter. I really like that, but I haven't reached for these like pinky purpley shades in a while. So I'll use that too. And I think that's it for face. Yeah, that's it for my face products. Alright, so last but not least, we need to select a brow gel to use. And I think, you know, I have a couple of other ones that I can try. I think I'll just use the e.l.f. one more. So this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow in Taupe. That's what I'm going to be using as brow gel. Alright, so that's everything that I will be selecting this month. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week and I'm in the midst of posting all of my declutter videos. So I hope you look forward to watching more of those. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!